Okay, so I clear that. Okay, so what I have here, these binders and these boxes is my uh, trading card collection, and I guess I have been collecting for a while. I suppose. I'm gonna start here with my binder, kind of just talk a bit about where I kind of started. So the first cards, I don't know whatever happened to them, and this was years ago. You got to keep in mind of what my age is right now, which is 35. So we're talking roughly um, when they started making trading cards for Batman the Animated Series, because I know it came out around 93, maybe 92. So a lot of the merchandise for all that, right, I think came out maybe around 94, give or take, right? I don't know what happened to those. Now, I knew there used to be a lot of sports cards at one time. I'm not a sports person. And I think what would follow up with, uh, which would take the place of that, would be Dragon Ball. DB, DBZ, GT things. And most of the cards, if you couldn't afford, because you wouldn't be able to go to the store all the time. So a lot of these cards, right? Not these ones. A lot of these are rebought from packs of now, but back then, uh, you'd get them with Dragon Ball figures, right? At the time, or you get them out the fruit snack boxes, the Dragon Ball Z fruit snacks that they used to do, and that's how that came really about for quite a lot of people who collected them. Um, that was like the only way, or if you would go to your nearest. For me, it would be Piggly Wiggly's back in the day when they used to sell the Dragon Ball Z magazines, and I have all of them. Well, not all of them, but all of them in a binder, protected, if you will, which was really cool when I ended up re-getting those. Um, as you continue, as I kind of jumped a little bit in this, right here was these ones are the Yu Yu Hakusho or Ghost Detective trading cards. I actually found the full set at Goodwill. As we get to here, we have like the Tenchi playing cards, right? And I wouldn't mind finding these new in factory sealed packaging. They are out there, and I would like to add that, because one thing that I will show, if I can get to it, hopefully I will, is that I have a little turning wheel of playing cards, like poker themed, different type of cards. Now, I don't know how to play poker. It's not my cup of tea, but it's what I do have, right? And then as we get here, right, we get to the Yu-Gi-Oh animated style theme cards, and they have quite a bit of people that make them really good quality that I wouldn't mind getting, but it does take money, it takes time. I'm trying not to get so much glare. I didn't know, I'm not sure how much of that was captured in picture. But these were cool. I know it's just like really, really cool. And a few of the ones I wouldn't mind getting is like the full 530 of Yugi slash Atem cards, Kaiba, Joey's, like a few others, right? Like a few others. Oh, I'm sorry for how much of that glare. I don't know which way I can fix that. Unless, let's see here. If I can do it like this. Unfortunately, that cannot tighten because that's broke. So that's not going to work. You guys would have to, let me go ahead, just bear with me, okay? Alright, hopefully that's probably a little bit more better. So yeah, that was really cool. Then, you know, as you see from here, leading into this sheet, I started recollecting now. When getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! When it came here in the US, because it originally started in 1999, I think, but then came here in the US around 02, 03. And whenever I get the money, there is a person that makes cards, you know, replicas, if you will, of some of the first starter decks. And I remember the first one I bought, it was Yugi's, right? Which was so cool. And I remember I wanted to work on Kaiba's and Joey's, but you know, back then, you know, it was like $25, right? But now if you find them online, you know, factory sealed or with the cases on them, gosh, talking like thousands of dollars. Of course, you have the booster packs, but this is the most when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, plus what's in these boxes right here, that I have ever truly owned of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in my entire life right now. And it was so cool and just great just getting back into it. Now these days I'm more of like into buying, not collecting, because a lot of the platform and everything has like changed and you know what have you. I remember, you know, as we're getting into a lot of the classics, I hope you guys can see this right here, which took me so much to get, because back then it was hard to find, and we're talking about the Egyptian God cards, Exodia, Dark Magician Girl, right? That's what I have here. And, you know, a little bit multiple copies of them. And then the Blue Eyes, Red Eyes. It was just really, really great of now. Especially this card right here. And I remember when the Yugi 10s came out, it was the big ones. Really, they were expensive, and I would grab the Dark Magician one. And it was with this Dark Magician on it, and that card. It's just like one of the really good, awesome cards to really, really see. It really was. And it kind of really depends, like, you know, if some people like who collect cards. Cards, you know, it's either hit or miss if you're talking about value. If you're talking about value, it's either hit or miss. Sometimes they'll go up, sometimes they drop. Card collecting is like Bitcoin, so to speak, or like stock markets. Like one time you'll go up and you'll sell, or next minute it's like drops, you know, so much. But it depends. You know, it's kind of like, let me not even compare it to Bitcoin, because we all know how that failed. Like, you're wasting $10,000 on one Bitcoin that's now only worth $5 to $6. But I don't, you know, they got some really harder rare cards that are worth money, but they're like champion award cards. Like, it's that one print only. It's graded already and everything, and that's like your prize with some cash, right? And those in particular cards, when they do go up for auction, up there. It's like up there. And it gets up there too. You know, back then, you know, when if you want, you'd have to buy packs on packs just to get what you were looking for. Unless you knew about eBay, which a lot of us didn't. So, you know, till now and everything. And here, right, as we kind of drop off, so to speak, a little bit of Kids Next Door trading cards. I forgot where I found those at. I have no clue. We continue on with a bit more of Yu-Gi-Oh cards here as well. I remember opening some packs and stuff, and some some packs and some boxes, and pulling some really awesome cards like hollows, shiny, you know, straight through. We get into more Kids Next Door cards here. I don't know how many sets there are to these, or if they continued. And then I got like I'm not sure what type, like kind of like street sport cards, I guess. I suppose. I don't know, they're okay. American Chopper cards right here. I missed the book I used to have. I don't know whatever happened to it. I'm gonna have to repurchase that. Then we have some little bit of Batman. I think Batman Begins cards right here. We got some Walking Dead cards. I never fully bought within the Walking Dead cards. It's just that the stores wouldn't carry them. So I have no idea how I got my hands on that pack, but I did. I know the best way to get them online. We get here to like the sports cards that belong to my father, right in here, which were his. So I got them in here, and a little bit of a few military cards. That's about it, and some of these card readers, if you will. So that's that part for that in particular binder. I didn't mean to kick that. We got another binder here that I started, so it's not really full. It's gonna take some time. So we got more Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? In here. Just, you know, kind of like just browse through it. Stuff like that, if you will. Here's like the only Pokemon card I got. And one thing with me, I never got in fully to Pokemon, and I stopped watching it after Generation 1 of Pokemon got over with, right? I know it briefly came to their final and everything like a year back, but when it came to the cards, I didn't collect the cards. Not too many people took place in the Pokemon competition at Burger King who I knew. I think a lot of people was more so into purchasing the little gold plastic plates there at the time. Well, one thing about Pokemon that I did collect, oh man, it's so much of those stickers from the 90s got ruined years back during a flood and a pipe burst. and I had a lot of Pokemon stickers. It was like a lot of holographics. Some of the cards that I had, and if you were to come to me and say, hey, do you collect Pokemon cards? No. But if you were to come to me and say, would you? My answer would be this: no. However, what I used to have was legit official bootleg Pokemon cards. Now, what do you mean? So, I used to go to the video store and things back where they used to have those 25-cent, 50-cent machines. And they had Pokemon cards. They were holographics. And they felt so real, but they were stickers. And a lot of people were using those at the time to trade or to try to play the trading card game with. Yeah. And they put those as bootlegs because that's what they were. So I would love to get my hands on a few of those ones from back then on the bootleg Pokemon cards that were stickers. Those would be the only ones that I would purchase, because there's something about bootlegs when it comes to cards that look so legit that you can't help but say, I want to own that, you know. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start off with this tin right here. This tin's really, really super cool. I think one of the things that Yu-Gi-Oh! Missed out on was doing these type of themes for like their own poker set. Now this, I gotta fill up. Right, so they come with like these dividers. Mine's is still in factory packaging. And these are some of the cards just in this tin that I have put away. Nothing too specific or crazy, I would say. Like, that's about it, right? Go ahead and put that right there. Go ahead and this one. I am working on like 2 more sets I do want to get. A little bit pricey right now still, even though they've been off like maybe 5-6 years. Legendary Collections and Legendary Duelist 1. Because here I got Legendary Duelist 2. I really like this box set. And I still have to get a few more card toppers, like the hard cases, for a few of these cards, like these holographic ones. Because I got protectors on them, but I want to put them also, you know, in the hard cases. So we have this one right here. Right? Probably not going to go through all the cards. I would take long, but we got Yugi's, right? If I remember correctly, we got Yugi's. No, we got Kaiba's right here, Yugi's, and Joey's right there. So I need to get some hardcovers for them eventually when I can afford it. It's like expensive, like $15, I think. Maybe. I guess it depends on how much. We got this tin. I kicked myself in the ass for passing this up when Walmart had them. They had a little bit left. I bought one. Really, really good pulls in this tin. And here are some of the ones from Kaiba's set, with the Kaiba Legendary Collection, if you will. And so much of these, like, yeah, look, like, here's this one, right? Blue Eyes. Oh, Other Blue Eyes. And these are like full foil, like the holographic lines all over it. There's like so many of them. It's like, wow, you know. And then you have your just, you know, hollows, but it may not be like the full hollows, which is in this one right here. So that's what this tin really is. It's like with that, right? I remember I used to own a dual disc. Now, with stuff like this, especially with the hard cases on them, if I would ever sell them, I would have to be careful because you're gonna have people out there gonna want to screw you over. Trust me. Now this tin I kept. I like the tin, but the cards that I pulled from this tin last year, trash. Right? And a lot of people do not like that tin series. But what's in here though, very special. So this right here is my own personal deck that I built. And what I mean by that is that in Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't see a lot of anything really Native American or guardian angel religious theme. And that's what I tried to base this around. Right? Is that so like Valkyrian, the seal of Orichalcos, right? Full foil. I'm going to show you guys just the monster cards, not so much like the magics and traps, but I did try to base the magics and traps around the theme and the lore of this deck. Shining Angel, another Shining Angel. This is like the first Yu-Gi-Oh card I ever actually owned, was that one right there. Another Shining Angel, right? Sterling Knight Guild. Beta the Magnet Warrior. Alpha the Magnet Warrior, right? Celtic Guardian. I used to have that figure. Host. Gamma the Magnet Warrior. Dark Lord Mage with the Dark Angel wings. Another Shining Angel. This one right here is my favorite. This is the only Angel / Native American card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Guardian Itosa. Right there. It's the only one. This one right here is a really good favorite of mine. It's Guardian Angel John, which is based off of St. John's, or Joan of Arc, if you will. Here's a holographic one of Guardian Itosa, right there. And then here's the Fallen Angel version of it, right? Or Wendigo in Native American. Guardian Elmo, right there. I forget the name of this chick. It's in Chinese though. Like, it goes into that. The Forbidden Maid, or the Forgiven Maid. I can't. There's that one. This is like supposed to be a resemblance, so to speak, to Michael the Archangel, right there. And you have this one. I would love to get this in a holo. That would look really cool. Another host, right? The Ancient of Wisdom, or something like that. another see, Noble Knight John, or another Joan of Arc right there. Geltic the Stone Guardian, Blade Knight, Change of Hearts, right? Saint John, the original Saint Joan of Arc card right there. Another Celtic Guardian. Big Shield Gardner. Another Big Shield Gardner. Destiny Hero, Dark Angel. So that's my Guardian Angel deck right there, if you will. I know on Amazon, if I get extra money, you can get your own custom sleeve cards, and I know what I want for these, for those sleeve cards. This one, this one is the opposite of this, of the deck. This is my Hell deck, and I built it for fun, and it's not to be taken seriously. So it's a double meaning, as in these cards are hell to play, right? Like, you know, not the best, but they balance each other out. Granted, you're not meant to win with this, but it's also meant to also give your opponent hell as well. So, which gives the expression hell deck, right? Now, this deck is just a fundamental deck I built based off a throwaway dragon deck. Yeah, really good strong deck though. I would say that's what that is. These are just a few extra cards, some good stuff, if you will. The same with this, but right here, what I was trying to work on when it came to the official tournament type of cards was all 530 cards of a Tim and Yugi's. I really still want to work on that. So is what is in this 10 right here, right? If you will. So yeah, there's like I said, what specifically is in this one. Go ahead and right there. That. Sorry, I keep kicking the tripod. Grab this box. So in this box is some of the best sets for the 25-year release that Toei did. This one right here, legendary dragon deck right here, and honestly to God, I got no, like, here's some of your, you know, the main ones, or so to speak, that you usually get. This one right here is like the Dark Magician deck, which I thought was really odd because it had nothing to do with dragons. This one is the Cyber Dragon deck. I gotta look up what this other one is because it says it on the back, but I'm not too really familiar with those last two. Yeah, Cyber Dragon deck and Dimension deck, or Dimension Dragons, which I love dragons. I stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh! When GT got canceled, because GT at the time was good, and I tried to go back and watch it. I wouldn't mind owning Chaz Princeton's deck, because he's, you know, me and him share the same name, Chaz. I wouldn't mind owning his deck, but it's expensive. And then we have the Battle City Finals. Really good product. A lot of cards, of course. You know, you get a lot of your graphics and stuff like that, and you get a lot of decks in here who are involved, who are the people that you see wrapped around the box, right? Then you have this one right here, Streets of Battle City. and I gotta get some hard toppers for these ones right here. But you also get, I think this was based towards the middle of the tournament, if I remember correctly, in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you have the opening one, the Battle City one, which is really expensive. And you get almost just about every duelist who entered into that tournament deck in here. It's like 25 cards because it's called Speed Duel, so it's meant to be a quick duel. I gotta get hard toppers for these ones right there. But this is just a really awesome product. And you get so many cards in that. And like I said, I got like 2 sets that I want to get to finish this, which is Legendary Collection and Legendary Duelist 1, which they're out there. It's just, again, pricey as all hell. It really is. So it's like, you know, what are you willing to spend, right? I'm gonna grab this other box now. Go ahead and grab what's. If I find it sound funny, it's because I'm trying to break this cold. Now these right here I pulled from the last pack. I'm trying to remember for the life of me what tin that was. I think it was that one that looked almost poker themed. I regret sleeping on that one, as these were such really good pulls. Nothing but pure straight hollows all through the card, just constantly. Constantly. And let me tell you the one that I never thought of. I'm glad I really protected this one. The trap card for Exodia Obliterate. Just wow. Like, pulling these like that, you don't usually get lucky like that. But I also think some of these also came from the cubes they do. A lot of people don't like the cubes. I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cubes. You gotta give them a chance because you do get some good stuff in those. I don't care what anybody says. But when it came time when I was getting back into collecting, I said I was only going to get cards that I've specifically been wanting. And of course, you know, starts off with one that builds, right? Oh, it builds. But these are the ones in my personal collection right here that I will show you guys right here. So we got Alligator Drag Swordsman, Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, right? We got Roz Disciple, right? Guardian Itosa, right? Noble Knight John, Guardian Angel John. We got 2 St. Johns right there. We got the Red Eyes Black Dragon card. Another Red Eyes Black Dragon. Original Red Eyes Black Dragon. Of course, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Exodia Necros. The legendary Exodia and Cranked, something like that. Of course, Exodia the Forbidden One, all 5 pieces to summon them. Scyther the Sky Dragon, the Wind Dragon of Ra, Scyther Sky Dragon again, the Wind Dragon of Ra, Obelisk the Tormentor, called the Haunted, Magic Cylinder, Contract with Exodia, Psychic Wave, Infusion something, Mystic Space Typhoon, Monster Reborn, and of course the Yu-Gi-Oh card that I had for 25 years. Whew. So there was that one. Let me go ahead and rubber band these up so before I show you guys the other half, right? Here's the other half right here. We got 3 token cards: Joey Wheeler, Yugi with Dark Magician, Kaiba with Exodia. Then we got these anime style cards, 3 holos of Blue Eyes and Red Eyes. All 3 legendary fishermen right there. Big Shield Gardner, right? Jinzo. I can't pronounce his name. I thought the card was cool. We got Summon Skull, Maxi C, Blue Flame Swordsman, Flamin' Swordsman, Blackluster Soldier, Silent Swordsman, Silent Swordsman, Silent Magician, Dark Magician, Dark Magician, Dark Magician, Red Dark Magician, and of course, my favorite Dark Magician of all, right there. I love that style. Oh man, that's so. Chocolate Magician Girl, Kiwi Magician Girl, Apple Magician Girl, Lemon Magician Girl, Berry Magician Girl. So I got all the fruit magicians and 3 Dark Magician Girls. There's that box. Whew. Now, I'm gonna go with this one right here. Right. So a lot of these, just like a lot of throwaway trap cards, I guess you could say, from random pulls. These are holographic random pulls from sets right there that have sleeves on them. That's about it, but like, you know, nothing really too special, but I just want to make sure things are protected and put away. And this one right here, these are like a lot of just random basic pulls from your Magic cards right there. And then like a lot of your just your basic pulls of your monster cards, which, you know, there's not really a lot going on with these ones, so, but they're there. They are there. Go ahead and grab the last box here for these. Now, these are structure decks that I bought that I personally rebuilt to make them better. Right? So I rebuilt the Rainbow Dragon structure deck. I definitely rebuilt the Egyptian God deck, as I call it, the I forget the name, not deity deck. I made it a bit too overkill. I rebuilt this Saga the Blue Eyes one. Yeah, I made that overkill, right? And then Blue Eyes White Destiny, when that came out, I restructured that one, made that overkill. So, you know, yeah, that's what I did. The only one I never got my hands on, I can never find, was that other Egyptian God deck. What was it? The Obelisk one. Not easy. Not easy. So, there's that when it goes to those cards. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the playing cards I got for like poker themed. Okay, so here I am on the dual take right here. Some of these cards I had to fix, and I had to make my own things for them so they could stay. So I'm going to start here. We got this vintage one. We got this one with the Virgin Mary on it. We got the waterproof one. We have Beetlejuice 2, Wednesday Uno. They do have Wednesday trading cards I would love to get my hands on. We got the Wednesday poker themed ones right there. This one is so heavy and big and bulky because of how it's packaged. I had to do it like this just so it could stay. So that's the Beetlejuice one with the Book of Deceased packaging. Beetlejuice 2 Uno cards. And we have the Nightmare Before Christmas set right there, poker cards. Luckily these have the seals on them, so I'm not too worried about like how I have that. We got like the gold flake $100 bill one, Native American one, right? Deadpool, Batman, Dark Knight, Snoopy. Let me go ahead and fix that right there. We got a Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super. We got the Dragon Ball Z Uno cards. And we got the Scooby-Doo one right there. I had to really do and make myself when it came to making sure that stayed. Right over here, we have the Lion King, Guns N' Roses. This one was a heavy one to keep up, so I had to do what I needed to do with that one. But it's Christmas Vacation with the Griswolds, Egyptian Pirates. This one right here, Yellowstone, and Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So that's about it as far as when it comes to my card collection right here. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to get more cards in the future.